What's going on, guys? I am back with a video today. Today I'm gonna do a deck preview of Brandish Maidens. I think that's what they're called. I know they're called Brandish. But before we continue, I have a few more videos lined up this week. I have YGO Pro, I can never say this, YGO Pro Dual Series. YGO Pro Dual Series I'm working on. There's a few other videos, deck preview, deck review. After this deck, I'm going to do either Troymares or Skyfang. Troymares are about to come out, so I'll probably do Troymares and then Skyfang. And then I'm going to do a YGO Pro Dual Series, and then I'll probably do some other stuff, I'll probably do worst card name and then archetype annals. This upcoming episode is going to be Pendulum Magicians for archetype annals. I feel like that should be explained. But anyway, for right now, we are going to be doing Brandish Maiden deck preview. There is officially 14 cards that we know of in the TCG, so let's go ahead and get to it. This should not be a long video whatsoever. For the only main deck monster we have, Brandish Maiden Ray. She's a level 4 Dark Warrior, 15 attack, 15 defense. Quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon one Brandish Maiden monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. If a face-up Brandish Maiden Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your grave, you can special this card. You can only use this effect, each effect once per turn. As you notice, she's Rota target, and she helps make the link. She helps bring out links. You can think of this deck as a Zodiac version, a link version of Zodiacs. Obviously, this deck would probably be better, just because it just tributes. You don't have to, like, you know what I mean? You obviously can't overlay. You only have 3 link monsters, so that's a problem. But the second effect that special summons it from the grave when a link monster leaves the field is pretty relevant. Actually, not really that relevant. Most of the time, you're gonna link it away for something else. So, but it's still definitely a card you're gonna have to play 3 of. This is gonna be the only main deck monster we have for a little while, possibly ever for this deck. We have no idea yet. But moving on to the spells, they have 10 spells, which most of them have the same requirement. If you first up we have Brandish Guild Jamming Wave. If you control no monsters in your main monster zones, target one spell trap on the field, destroy it. Then if you have 3 or more spells in your grave, you can destroy one monster on the field. You'll notice that this card is an MST and a not Winged Blast. I can't think of that card's name. This card is actually really good. It's a normal spell, which is pretty decent. It could pop a spell and trap a monster, which is really good. You're probably gonna definitely want to play 3 of this. This card's just really, really good. I'll definitely be playing this deck when it comes out. Playtest. I've got a deck list. I'll probably do a YGO Pro Dual Series on it eventually. There's still so much stuff. Anyway, moving on. Brandish Startup Engage. Speaking of which, I just remembered, I'll also be doing a card review pretty soon. I have to bring that back, I guess. Anyway, Brandish Startup Engine. Sorry about that. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, add one Brandish card from your deck to your hand. Except Brandish Startup Engine. Then, if you have 3 or more spells, you can draw 1 card. You could search and then draw. This card's also gonna be a 3 of because it's a freaking ridiculous card. The fact that you have to control no monsters in your main monster zones probably goes to the fact that there's only one main monster, main deck monster for this deck. So that's a really good effect. Both these have a second effect. I think all of them have a second effect if you have 3 or more, but we'll get there. Anyway, that's definitely gonna be a 3 of. Brandish skill Afterburner. No, the normal. If you control no monsters in the main monster zone, you can target one face-up monster on the field, destroy it. Then if you have 3 or more, you can destroy one spell. It's literally the opposite of skill gemming wave, but I still think it's gonna be a 2 of possibly. I think skill wave. I think both actually are pro. I think all 3. I think this will be a 3 of as well. I think all 3 normals so far will be a 3 of because they're just really good and it puts a card in your grave. For the quick plays, Brandish Mecha Eagle Booster. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you target one face-up monster on this field. This turn, that target is unaffected by card effects, except for its own effects. Also, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, it cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. I feel like this would be a 1 or 2 of. This card's not, or possibly a 0 of. This card's not really that great. It just makes cards, it just grants a card for a turn until the end of the turn, and it can be destroyed by battle. There's other better cards that do that. You probably want to play one just because it might be relevant. Moving on. Brandish Mecha Shark Cannon. If you control no monsters in your main monster zones, target one monster in your opponent's grave, banish it, but if you have 3 or more spells in your grave, you can special summon that monster to your field instead, but it cannot attack. This card is just ridiculous. None of these are once per turn, except the token one, I believe. This card's just fucking insane. This is definitely a 3 of. It's a DD Crow and or a Monster Reborn. I mean, it's just, oh well, yeah, it's a Monster Reborn or DD Crow. Sorry. Yeah, it's just really good. Banish a card or special summon a card from your opponent's grave. If you play 3 of this, you're effectively playing 4 Monster Reborns if you decide to play Monster Reborn. I feel like this card's going to be a 3 of. Moving on, because I'd like to get done before like 12-15 minutes. Brandish Mecha Hornet Bit. If you control no monsters in your main monster, special 1 Brandish made a token. Warrior, Dark, level 1, attack 0, defense 0. In defense, but it cannot be tributed. If you have 3 or more spells in your grave, its attack and defense become 1500. This is pretty good for link summoning. It's a chop block because it's a quick play, so you could use it to protect yourself. I believe Scapegoat will be really good in this deck because you can use it, make a link, and then make all your other links. Unfortunately, you have to control no monster in your main monster zones. So this deck is really a link-reliant deck. So yeah, there's that. I still think this would be 2 of, possibly, or 3 of, if you don't play Scapegoat. Moving on. Brandish Mecha Widow Anchor. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, target one effect monster on the field. It has its effects negated until the end of this turn. Then if you have 3 or more spells, you can take control of that monster into the end phase. This card's really good. Again, it negates the effects of, like, you steal your opponent's Judgment Dragon. It doesn't have the effect, which is good because you don't have to mill, but, which actually probably would help, honestly. But yeah, I think this card is gonna be a 2, 3 of. I mean, a lot of these spells are gonna be 2 or 3 ofs. It's just a really good deck. It's doing really good in OCG with a lot of different decks. So yeah, I definitely think playing 3 of this will be good. And then we have one continuous, 1 equip, and 1 field spell to round off the main deck. Brandish Mechanism Multi-Roll. Once per turn, you can target 1 other card you control. Send it to the grave. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects and respond to your spell card activations this turn. That's pretty broke. Once per turn during the end phase, you can set Brandish spells with different names from your grave to the field, up to the number of banished spells you activated this turn when this card was face up on the field, but banish them when they leave the field. So this card is a Spellbook of Judgment as well as, well, it's just a Spellbook of Judgment. The fact that you can pretty much guarantee a Regeki going through, or Kaiju Slumber, or Dark Hole, or any desires without getting ashed, the fact that you can make it guaranteed that it's not going to get negated or responded to is pretty good. You're probably going to want to play one or two of these though, because you do have to banish those cards when they leave the field, and you really want them to stay in your grave if possible. But yeah, this is definitely a really good card as well. A lot of these cards, 90% of this deck is really good. In fact, I'd say all of it's good in some way. The equip, Brandish Mechanoid Hercules base. Activate only if you control no monsters in your main monster zones. The equipped monster can make up 2 attacks on monsters during the battle phase, but it cannot attack directly. And that's kind of okay, I guess. The equipped monster destroys a monster by its attack while you have 3 or more spells in your grave. Draw 1 card. Okay, there's somewhat of a good thing. If this card is sent from the field to the grave by a card effect, you can target up to 3 Brandish cards in your grave, except itself. Shuffle them. So, the first effect is mediocre. The second effect draws you a card, and the third effect is a Dagusto Emerald without the draw. This is probably be a one-of, honestly. I don't see it being that great, but it could come in handy every now and then to get rid of problematic cards. If it had given attack boost as well, it'd be a lot better, but it does not. So I don't think it's really that great. And the field spell, you could Brandish Airspace Area 0. You can target one other card you control, excavate the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add 1 excavated Brandish card to your hand, also shuffle the rest back to the deck. If that was send it to the grave, it'd probably be a lot better. Then if a Brandish card was excavated, send the targeted card to the grave. If this card is sent from the field to the zone to the grave by a card effect, you can special summon 1 maiden Brandish monster from your deck. Only use each effect once per turn. Hard once per turn. The excavation effect is okay, but it would have been a lot better if it said send them the other 2 rest to the grave. The second effect is okay, but you can always just get Cosmic Cyclones or, you know, other stuff. I think this would be a one-of just because it is an extra spell, and it does have some utility eventually, mid to late game, possibly. Not really early game, because you don't really want to... I mean, I guess this is good in all phases of the game, but I just think it'd be better in the mid to late game. For the 3 extra deck monsters, moving up really quickly, we have Brandish Maiden Hate. The link arrow is pointing down to the left, diagonally to the left, 1500 attack. 1 non-win Brandish Maiden monster. This card can attack directly after damage calc. If this card battled, you can send 1 Brandish card from your deck to the grave. You can only use special summon once per turn. It's a foolish barrel for your Brandish cards, so that's pretty good. Moving on. 1 non-fire Brandish Maiden. If this card is special summon, you can target... Oh yeah, 1500 attack. And its arrow's left, diagonal left. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 Brandish spell in your grave, add it to your hand, gains 100 attack for each spell in your grave, can only special summon once per turn. It's pretty good, I guess. The 100 attack for each spell is kind of irrelevant, however, it still will probably get to be a little beefy because you are going to send a lot of spells. The adding a Brandish spell to your grave is pretty good as well, because it doesn't restrict you after that, so that's pretty good. And for the final one, 1 non-water Brandish Maiden monster. So, yep. Diagonal right is the arrow, 15 attack. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each spell in your grave. Once per turn, during the end phase of this card with special summon, you can add 1 Brandish spell card from your deck to your hand with a different name for every card in your grave. You can only use special summon once per turn. Yeah, the losing 100 attack defense to your opponent's monsters is okay. It adds up, I guess. I mean, it helps, I guess. And then the end phase, the end phase, it's just, again, it's a, what is it, Spellbook of Judgment, so that's pretty good. But yeah. Overall, I think this deck is going to be pretty good. It's doing really good in OCG right now, so yeah, hopefully it'll be really cheap and really good to play here, because I definitely have been playing it, and I love the deck. I like the mechanic, and I like what they did with it. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and you know the usual. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.